Oh, there we go. I looped it
I was
around
I
twice.
was having deja vu. Like the timer started at 30 seconds again. I'm all confused.
Oh no, I clicked on the wrong button.
How much
Uh,
starting to like we ended the last year.
yeah, right. All right, we got a whole huge 4 people online here. Let's see.
I show 8.
Oh, really? Must be my computer. Anyway, welcome everybody. This is Northeast RC Racers podcast back for 2026. All shiny and new, and I'm sure we've all got some healthy New Year's resolutions that we're breaking. I was supposed to be not drinking, but I think 2 days ago I had to have a beer after I got home from the weekend. Anyway, we're back. And we're getting ourselves organized here, blow the dust off. We got Tom and Vin. What's up, guys?
What's up?
What's up, Tom?
We are very organized today, so this is all going to go to plan. We got a guest. You've got Billy Papenburg coming in. As our guest today. You guys know Billy is a well-known regional racer, fast guy, big electric. Actually, he's run Nitro too before, if I recall. But he's wimped out recently, just doing the electric stuff. So talk a little bit about what's been going on and developments in the last week. It's pretty exciting stuff, at least for us. From last year, we were fortunate enough to have Dennis Bruce, Nitro Caddy involved with the podcast. He is renewed with us as a partner again for this year. So thank you, Dennis and Nitro Caddy. I'm going to talk very quickly about his couple of new products he has coming out. And obviously, I'm going to quickly run his ad as well, just to give you a quick glimpse. And so I'm going to run that real quick, and we'll talk quickly about that afterwards.
It's a starter box adapter plate. I got tired of the pins moving on me with the boxes. And what this plate does is it affixes the 4 corners of your chassis to the starter box.
There we go, Nitro Caddy. We'll quickly touch upon so a couple of new products from Dennis over at Nitro Caddy. Obviously, late last year, you had the Bump Master came out, which is a pretty revolutionary product in my eyes. That you use a plate, it goes on your starter box, foolproof. None of all these moving little pills anymore. You just throw your car on it, boom. And then also he has the little stop stick, which is like a keyring style toy you can have when you're pitting and help you stop an engine, stop a flywheel. Super useful. When I was down in Fallbrook, he showed me a couple of new products. So he has some additional products, excuse me, for the Nitro Caddy. There's this pretty sweet light now that hangs down off the caddy handle. So specifically,
really? That's a good idea. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I think it's
really cool.
Yeah, it's USB chargeable, I think, and it just hangs down from the handle, so it lights up your whole car. Super cool. And then he also has this little tool holder, which I'll give you a better picture of here, which will go again on the caddy. Put your igniter and your driver in there, and there's also a little drawer that comes out, so you can put your little put your doohickeys in there.
Isn't that also? I think you can put a small battery in there and run your head heater off of that.
Oh, that's
so between that head heater battery sticking up there and then the cord is down, so it's also letting it hang off that. And then the light is right over your engine. So it's like I saw it in action. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, why didn't somebody think of this sooner? So
that's a great idea.
A lot of credit to Dennis for the ingenuity going on there. Very cool.
Yeah, absolutely. He's always looking to innovate. And we appreciate him supporting us, and we'll do as much as we can to support him. And I quickly touch on about our second partner for the rest of the year. CowRC came back on again, actually just today. So we're super excited to have them back on board. We're going to be touching upon their range of their products over the next 11 months. And also, hopefully, we can talk about some new things coming in the pipeline. Yeah, so pretty jazzed about that. I'm going to quickly run their ad, and we can move on to the next segment of the show.
CowRC is your one-stop shop for all things RC maintenance, carrying everything you need to keep your vehicles looking good and performing at their best. From MooClean part and chassis wash that's gentle on your RC's components, to jet air blasters that eliminate the need to carry those large and noisy air compressors, CowRC has you covered. Even down to our convenient hide wipes that keep hands and other surfaces clean. Moose-Lick silicone, oil, and grease sprays, along with Utter Butter grease, and a variety of work mats are all staples of CowRC's wide range of products. Be sure to use the following discount code to save on your next purchase.
Yep. So last thing I'll say about them is a discount code NERP, NERRP. It's also going to be an affiliate link, which I'll be posting on the Facebook page. You guys can use that, and it helps us out as well as helping out CowRC. So that's my spiel for now. Tom?
Good spiel.
That's right.
So what else you guys been up to? I mean, obviously we got excited for 2026 with the podcast. There is a slight revision, right? We don't have George. George is taking a little bit of a hiatus. Hopefully he comes back, but he's got a lot of other things going on in life right now. So he's kind of handed the torch off to Ben and Toby and myself. So looking forward to maintaining what we started. I think we've got a pretty good community going. We're going to definitely take some time later on during this podcast after we get a chance to catch up with everybody with what you guys want to see from the show. So don't be afraid. Please start commenting. We'll share those in a little while, and make sure we get a chance to talk to everybody. Like, what else do you want to see from the show? Because we want to keep it going. We think it's been positive. I actually enjoy doing it. It's good to see you guys and just talk RC. I don't always get a chance as much in the wintertime to hang out in the pits with you guys. This is like our chance to have that pit talk.
Cool.
What's going on in your world? What you been up to?
So I am excited to talk about more things RC. So meaning we're going to talk a little bit about touring car. We're going to talk a little bit about 10 scale off-road. We're going to talk a little about carpet, a little bit about dirt. I'm excited. I'm excited for it. We're still going to talk about 8 scale, nitro, and electric, Toby. But we're gonna cover all of that, and I'm excited for that. So if you guys think we should do that, please let us know in the comments when you get a chance. And if you can, please like, subscribe, share. If you guys can share now, get some more viewers going. That would be wonderful. Yeah, thank you to everybody who's joined in. And who do we have in there, Tom?
I don't get the names of who's on right now. I see George put a post up, and Toby, I don't have a way to share it. I guess I'm not logged in the right way, which we'll figure that out as time goes on.
We got to have a TQ.
Yeah, George, I told you we were warming up for this, right? We spent a few minutes before we jumped on, trying to be prepared. Doesn't always work, but we tried anyway. And we're like, George he's gonna be dialing in. He can't or comment, but it's good to see him. We want to see him, so awesome to.
There we go. Now we got some people.
Awesome to see George.
Mike
Sonali's on. Vic Alvario.
What's up, guys? Thanks for joining in.
Oh, Big Mike. But cool. So, anything exciting in your world? I got to see you last week, which was cool. You came down to Rhythm and recorded stuff. I also watched some of your stuff last week from Park Lane. Those freaking on-road guys were rolling.
Yeah. I love on-road. I wish we lived closer. I do that all the time. Such a lot of fun. And just the smells. It's hard to explain the smells. I mean, I started racing when everyone was using Paragon, which was that nasty ass, probably cancer-inducing, tire compound. It's a smell. It's almost the smell of like tire kicker, you know. You're like, you know, there's nothing like the smell of tire kicker in the morning when you're outside racing. But even now, you know, the smell of the track and the foams. I like 12 scale. That's my thing. I mean, I'm ass slow, but it's just a nice feeling. Anyway, that was last weekend. Yesterday, what day is it? It's Monday. That was yesterday. We're down at Park Lane at a little race called Ducks for Bucks. I don't know why, but it was duck themed. Very strange. So that was a good turnout. 70 odd entries. A lot of touring car, LMH. Billy Papenburg was there actually, running a little touring car. It was all smiles. He loves a touring car. He's going to quit off road and go run touring car now.
But I think that's one of the things we want to kind of cover on the podcast too. I think all that other style of racing helps you in each anytime you do a different genre, it helps the other ones along the way, which is kind of cool.
Absolutely.
I think it's a good excuse to buy another RC car.
Mike Pavia's on. He just says he's got a new unopened can of Paragon he bought in 1988. Don't be huffing.
Hasn't eaten through the can yet.
Yeah,
Seriously.
exactly. Rusting up at the bottom. And then obviously last week was down at Rhythm with you, Tom. Forgot your name already. Had a good time down there. Huge turnout for their rescheduled New Year's Eve race or New Year's Day race or whatever it was, New Year's Bash, something like that. If you guys haven't been to Rhythm, you guys should check it out. Awesome facility. There's some nice guy down there called Tom who runs a really, really tight program. You'll be in and out in a jiffy and waiting around for long breaks. And the food down there is insane. Expect to put on a ton of weight if you race there regularly.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain to my wife. Yeah, I'm put about 30 pounds racing RC. I don't know.
Yeah,
last week I'd have Mike Ream call some races. Like, dude, I gotta go out and marshal. I just gotta move a little bit. I'm eating too much. I'm gonna fall asleep in this chair.
I had a breakfast sandwich and then I had a smash burger and fries, and I regretted that because I was just, barely
Doing it.
Bend over after that. So yeah, keeping busy. That's it. That's all I got.
I told you guys, I'm not sure if everyone on the podcast knows, so last week, after we got done that race, what was it before? Either way, it was the 6th. I had a guy reach out to me out of the blue. And he goes, "Hey, I've heard about your tracks and I'm looking to film a music video. And I think it'd be kind of cool to do it at Rhythm." I'm like, all right, who the hell's punking me? There's no way that somebody wants to do a music video. But sure enough, he goes, "Look, I'll send you a presentation deck. You can look at it." And 2 minutes later, he sends me an email, well thought out presentation. I'm like, son of a gun, this guy's actually, this guy's legit. And we actually ended up shooting a video last week, which was really cool to be behind the scenes. So that's been kind of cool going on in my world. They based it on a movie called Love Liza. It's like back from early 2000s with Philip Seymour Hoffman, with RC was part of it. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Different.
Yeah.
You never know where RC is going to take it. I told my wife, we got paid for this, so I'm officially a professional RC driver. I'm still in the hole. I'm still probably in the hole about 10 grand, but it's all right. I'm digging out of it $50 at a time.
See if I can pull up a real quick picture of this crazy band playing on your track. Definitely, there it is.
Yeah. Oh, the band was called Friko, Friko. Was pretty cool, and the way they did it, like they played on the thing. We were driving RC cars, but I got to give a shout out to Vic Alvario, Critter Glemser, Drake Glemser came out. Jay Dotson was out there with us, and Jackson Crutchley, Jim's grandson. We were driving the RC cars. Jim's out there flying a plane around them, an RC plane around them as they're singing. It was pretty cool.
Nice. Now we need to just have a band playing in the middle of the track whilst we're racing.
Yeah.
Tell them to come back for the next big race. Definitely.
I thought Victor kept hitting the double. I thought he was aiming for the cymbal. I thought he was trying to get the cymbal on the track. Like a big gong.
All right. What's next?
All right. Well, so let's take a minute. We got a bunch of people commenting, right? So Vic Diesel. Sorry, we nicknamed Victor Vic Diesel when he was there. Best eyebrows in RC. Anywho,
that
um,
was the B main. I think he was in, right? Or was it the C main? Like one of the best races of that day. I think it was like the third race in, and there were two guys that kept throwing it away and they kept taking it back, and I think he won in the end. Like
he did, I think so, if I remember right.
good race.
Well, this might be a good little chance. Let's just transition over. I mean, we got a good amount of people watching right now. Be curious what everybody thinks. As I mentioned before, George is focused on some other things at the moment, and we're going to try to continue this down the path we've been on, but we want to expand it a little bit, and we'd love to hear from the audience. What else would you like to see us cover during these events? We're going to keep a similar agenda where we're going to talk about what's going on in our worlds, what upcoming races are happening. One of my favorite sections, we're going to continue Vin's setup segment, which I think has been really good. But we definitely want to take maybe a deeper dive on some of the indoor stuff in the off season, because unfortunately here in the Northeast, as much as I wish we would have 12 months of 1A scale racing, we just don't have it. But I think a lot of us doing carpet. I mean, hell, we've been busy at Rhythm. I know Trace has had some amazing counts. First Aid Hobbies has some good counts going on. They just redid their track, which is cool to see. Park Lane's getting a good amount of people. Jersey RC Racing Promotions. I'm sure I'm missing some others up north, up your way. So there's still a lot of racing happening, even if we're not racing 1A scale. So I think we're going to spend a little more time on that. But
yep.
What do other people want to hear from us? What else they want to learn about?
Yeah, I just posted that in the comments too. So guys want to chip in with anything you want to hear?
Yeah, I have something real quick. So I'm wearing my KTM. Can anyone tell me why I'm wearing my KTM hoodie? That's the question. Why am I wearing this KTM hoodie today?
Either you're cold, hopefully you're not excited about Eli Tomac.
Totally. Thank you, Tom. So anyone else watch Supercross? That was an awesome race. It was really cool. Except for the start of the main, the 450 main. But,
yeah, that was a good fit. Parsha seems okay. I mean, after all that, but
good. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, you saw what happened online afterwards. That was crazy. But anyway, love me a little bit of Supercross. Had to interject it. I know I'm not the only one. Even George with the Tomac. Hell yeah, George. Yeah, let's go. Awesome. That makes my day.
I tell you who I did feel bad for. Not obviously Barsha and
yeah, Ron.
And why am I blanking on his name? Bubba's brother.
Malcolm. Mookie.
Malcolm, sorry. Yeah. I felt bad. I feel bad for Sexton. That Kawasaki was not doing him right. I saw a few memes out there, like maybe there's going to give him a KLR 300 to ride around because he's more off the course than he is on the course anymore. But
you know what? So I'll tell you, Kawasaki has always been, really good, like with the help of Pro Circuit, of course, and they always get their suspension dialed. And sometimes it takes a little while for a rider to get their groove on a different bike when you're transitioning. So, and Supercross, man, it's so tough. So the biggest thing is, thankfully, he's okay, and he's able to do some tuning in and come back, and I think he's going to do even better. So that bike's not bad. All of them are really good at this point. So anyway,
yeah, let's reel ourselves back in because I'm going to start talking. We're going to go on a tangent, Vin, you and I, and Toby might start yawning on us. But
hey, listen, we got comments going on about Supercross, so we're not the only ones.
Everyone just woke up as soon as you started.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to add that in as a feature.
But George talked about ESC preferences be a good conversation piece one time. Certainly could talk through that. Obviously, you want to talk about tire preferences. That's always a good one. Mike Sinali, let's spend some more time talking about local race results, new parts or changes, or indoor tires. Man, Mike, were you listening into some of the stuff that we were talking about ahead of this? Because we got a lot of the stuff, but happy to have you reinforce it.
Thanks, guys.
TJ, I'm with you. I like Jorge Prado. I'm happy to see him back on a KTM. Sorry, a little bit of a...
Yeah, he seems to have found his groove. Third place, man. You can't... in a stacked field.
Oh, and also Mike Sinali, thank you again. I forgot to mention Factory, another awesome track we have, our local up in York.
Yep.
They got a lot of good stuff. It's funny. I think like we're in a good spot. I feel like when I opened Rhythm, there wasn't a lot of stuff around. I feel like we're growing again. The hobby's doing well in the Northeast. We've got at least when it comes to indoor season, we've got a good amount of options, which is good for everything. I remember Brian Cruz was talking to him about it. He's like, there's always a reason why there's a Burger King next to a McDonald's or a Lowe's next to a Home Depot. The more, the better it is for everybody. So good stuff.
That's right.
We also have DRP, right? And
Yes.
Yeah.
and
Great
Richfield.
place. I love that place.
Richfield's a lot of
Richfield
fun.
as well.
Hoping to get out there at some point this fall. Crazy Friday night turnout those guys get.
Yeah,
hoping
Mike
Rich
Green
got-
reminded
I
us we
missed it
got
last
critters
year.
with Big Kush. Sorry.
Yep.
Tom, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'd rather mention the track. That's good. But I know I want to try this year when we go to LCRC's opener. Last year, I think there was a race at Richfield on Friday night. So I'm hopeful to go up there and bring my
Oh,
carpet cars and my A scale stuff and be able to run Friday night right over to Richfield and run over
That
there.
would be cool. I like that idea.
Very cool. I might just join you. Sounds
Yeah.
awesome.
All right.
Cool.
Let's see what else I had on my list here. Things we were going to touch base on. Other stuff about the show. How about any New Year's resolutions from anybody too? As we're waiting for other comments, what people want to see about the show. What do you guys got? Any New Year's resolutions for racing this year?
Don't suck. That's mine.
Same what I had last year, the year before, the year before.
So what I tried to do this year was not focus on my resolution of what to do, because it's always like get to the gym, get in the gym, get healthy, so of course I'm in the gym, but it's what not to do, and that might be down to screen sucking, and turning down my screen time. So like that's one of the things, and then focusing a little bit more on my work and getting that kind of stuff. I have some big projects coming up I'm very excited for. So, for me, it's stuff like that. But with RC, it's to keep at it and to keep practicing and keep opening up, my knowledge of setup and keep learning more, trying to learn more and more. But, I'd love to hear what everybody else has in mind for the new year.
Well, for me, I'll give you mine. There's two. One of the ones just happened to be a meme that popped up on Facebook. We were talking about, you're saying less screen time, and here I'm talking about Facebook. But it was like, hey, in 2026, do your best to bring somebody new to the track or help somebody new at the track, right? Go out of your way to make sure you help somebody get ready. And Toby, I think about you and I. Remember those times we bought the Subaru Brats together? We were at trains and there was somebody trying to tune their motor without tires on it.
Yeah.
To help them. But it's a good thing to do, right? It's those little things. If you have a few moments, hey, can I help you? How do I help you get better at this? And I think that's a good thing for everybody. The other one for me that really resonates, I think about some of the people I really like their race programs. I think Arturo Ruiz has an awesome race program. I think Colton Fenari has a really good race program. Maddie Long has a really good race program. And one of the things, the commonality they all said, because we talk about nerves when you're racing, they said, look, one of the ways they combat the nerves is to be overly prepared and their preparation before their race starts. Just so that's one less thing they don't have to think about the whole way. So I'm going to try to spend more time, because I've had too many times where, fortunately, I'm not racing till later in the day on Sunday, but I dilly-dally most of the morning, and then something stupid happens, like a screw comes out of something after I had 5 hours and I could have been working on my cars, but I was just BSing.
But
Cool.
Cool. Kyle Chasen in the house. Let's see Kyle.
Yeah.
See Kyle in a while. We'll see him up at LCRC.
Cool.
Unless the military's got him running all over the place again.
Yeah, good to see that. I think Mike Ream said I'm in when we were talking about going to Richfield.
Mike's always in. He's a road warrior.
he's a big time stadium truck driver now. Mr. A-Main.
No. Mike last week's like, maybe I'll sell the T7. I'll focus on buggy. Then all of a sudden he gets on the podium. Like, I love this truck. I'm not getting rid of it now.
Yeah, stick with what you're good at. Buggy's hard.
Yeah, shout
Why did I
out
just-
to Brad real quick. DJ Elysium. It's Brad Thomas in the house. Real quick. Oh, back in September. Nice, Kyle.
In Japan, wow.
Japan, yeah.
Oh my
Actually,
goodness.
I got to say, Kyle sent me some really good pictures from Japan. I mean, like the track that they have out there. Oh man, it's gorgeous. Clay track, beautiful. I'd love to race on it. So you're lucky, Kyle. You get to be out there and still get to rip. That's awesome.
Hey, Kyle, if
And
you're
thanks-
out there,
thanks for chiming in. That's awesome. Great.
if you can commandeer a C-130 for us, I got a lot of Tamiya kits I'd like to bring back. So
Yeah, right. Definitely.
Cool. Cool. So yeah, we have some cool stuff in store for tonight, and I think yeah, we should have Billy on here pretty soon, and I have some pretty good topics to cover. So yeah,
let's
excited to get
bring Billy in. He's a good guy to bring in. We're kind of talking about different racing and everything else. We kind of touched on some other tracks. Here's a guy that's running all the different tracks. He could probably build on that thought.
There he is.
There he is, Mr. Pappenberg.
Yay! What's up, guys?
What's up,
What's
Billy?
happening?
How are you? Thanks for the invite and having me on the show. I'm honored to be here.
Absolutely.
This is killer.
You've been on the list for a while. Just us getting organized and consolidated has always been been a challenge.
It's all-
Almost like I just saw you yesterday.
Well, was that? No, that was 2 days ago. Today's Monday.
Oh, is
It was
Oh,
Saturday. It feels like yesterday, though. I know.
Yeah, it was sort of like an RC hangover yesterday.
Absolutely. I was trying to recover all day. Just it's a long day. It was great. Good time. A lot.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. I was listening
Absolutely.
to what you guys were saying about the your New Year's resolutions and whatnot, and having a better race program is definitely on the list for me as well. And I feel like I almost got to consolidate some of it for at least for A scale stuff. I feel like it's definitely a focus maybe a little bit more on one ride as opposed to having like three, and I feel like I don't have a lot of time to focus on setup. And that's coming from what I'm learning from on-road. Let's just say that. I'll save that a little bit for later with the segment. But yeah, I'm learning a lot from my experience with on-road. There's a lot of things. Thanks, Mike Sinali.
Oh, fan.
We had a great time at Fall Brawl, man. We were up on the driver's stand laughing and getting ready right before the what was it? I can't remember what it was. E-Truck, I know that, but it was a great time, man. It was a cool experience. Great track. It was technical. It was cold as hell, but
Yeah, it's cold as hell. I think I'm done with that event.
man, Vin and I, we worked really well together. We were just working on setup, trading off different, trying different springs, diff fluids. I worked on that buggy all day long. I was going to bed at like midnight thinking about the setup changes what we were going to try the next day for practice and qualifying. And yeah, I mean, it was really cool having that camaraderie and we got to hang out with Brendan Rose. I think he programmed the Reedy for me, because I was having a lot of problems with a different brand that I was just at leftover electronics. Again, need to work on the race program and make some serious changes and get one consistent, everything just consistent across the board and focus on that. So yeah, but the crossover experience from on-road, you guys were saying, I've noticed some clear differences not just in the cars, but let's talk about setup tools. Holy cow. For my off-road friends, I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you probably know DJ Kramer, but he was, trying to tell me and convince me like, dude, I don't know if you really want to get in a touring car. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to do and there's a lot to learn. And to be honest with you guys, that was one of my goals. Like I was kind of trying to figure out like my weaknesses, and strengthen them and set up, I was like, I really wanted to learn setup. And on-road, man, you're hunting for tenths of a second. So the setup tools are actually really precise and awesome. And it was exactly what I was looking for, like off-road, it doesn't need to be super perfect and precise because the track is consistently changing and you got these huge, crevasses, everything is big craters and whatnot. And that's cool. And that's what makes off-road. But you have a consistent platform with carpet, and you have like a test, basically something that it's consistent. You're trying it over and over, so the setup changes are no joke, and they really work. So yeah, it's a cool experiment, and I'm happy. Hopefully it transitions over to the off-road and it's not a complete disaster, but time will tell.
Well, it could be paralysis by analysis, but hopefully not.
Yeah.
So let's step back a second. There's a lot of cool stuff we want to cover with you, but
Sure, man. Yeah.
we talk about how you kind of got into RC, how it started for you.
Yeah.
I know you took a little hiatus for a bit there, and I'd be curious what brought you back. So it's kind of like a two-part question there for you, but.
For sure. Yeah. So I guess, for the first part, I got into my background was, I got into, I think it's 1987. I had my first Tyco turbo hopper that my parents, believe it or not, saved for me. And I have it right here for everyone. I was
Awesome.
I was 10 years old, right? And it still works, which is even crazier, dude.
That's cool.
So I took this thing everywhere with me, every family vacation. It was just following me around, and it was just something, tiny little transmitter. It's like this big, little stick. And I brought it everywhere with me, and it was just, I loved it, And then I got my Tamiya Hornet, everyone gets a brass hopper or a frog or something. So that was my first kit, built that little thing and figuring out all that stuff. And then it was cool. But my real first kit was an RC10T when I was 15. And, I always wanted to race when I was a kid, but I didn't really have a lot of time. I was surfing, music, sports, school, all that fun stuff. So, and actually didn't know where to go. There was no internet resources like, today. So I was just kind of like, just sat, drove around the street, jumping off curbs kind of thing. And then, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it was fun, but I don't know. I mean, there was Jackson, but I didn't really know about Jackson at that time. And they had like an off-road 10 scale track. And now that, obviously I know that they have the awesome on-road track. It's supposedly amazing. I'd like to check that out in the summer for sure. But fast forward when I'm like 30 years old, right? I'm having dinner with my in-law, Chris Carver, and he mentioned that he was an RC boat race champion and was a national champion. So like naturally I'm like, interesting. Like I'm blown away by this. And he was in magazines and traveled around the US and sponsored by like all these engines and everything. And I'm like, he's showing me pictures. I'm like, this is really cool. And they were telling me like he's a legit OG. And so like my in-laws, Chris and Linda, they had an RV. My wife, a little girl at the time, was like traveling with them to go to all these races. And, it was just like, and they lived that like cool little RC adventure. So, they're telling me how they met people and like made lifelong friends. And it just sounded like a really cool thing. So I told my father-in-law, Chris, I was like, I'd love to do that, man. Like and he was like, I think I know a place called Track 70. So this is around 2009. And, I have no idea what I'm doing. I bought an RC18 Nitro scale truggy, like full blown, just like pull out of the box. And, I go to the track. I have no idea what I'm doing tuning. Like, I have no idea. I just completely overwhelmed. And so I have a lot of like compassion when like newbies come to the track these days, because I still remember that initial impact of like, wow, this is no joke. Like, seeing the dirt and cars flying around the air and whatnot. So luckily my buddy, well, not now, at the time I didn't know him, but like Dave O'Brien is pitting next to me. and he's like a school teacher. It's just like a really cool laid back dude. And he must've seen me. And so we started talking, and he's like, do you know what you're doing? I'm like, absolutely no idea. And so he was a huge help, not just on that day, but like over the years, we became really good friends. And, he taught me a lot, like race etiquette and like driving lanes. And like, I had no idea about like real racing or none of that. I just liked the cars. I thought they were really cool. So, Dave and my father-in-law they were awesome mentors for me. So, I was definitely blessed to have my father-in-law. He loved the hobby. He still does. And, he had a crazy mechanical background, and he really helped me with building, set up the cars, because I'm not a mechanic. I'm a manual, just kind of figuring everything out by reading. I'm a book guy. Basically that was my background. So that was the first part of the question. What was the second part, Tom? Sorry, rambled on.
Well, you took a little bit of a hiatus there for a while. I know you were very involved. There was going at a wall. Is that what kind of took you away, and then you just sort of come back in the last
Yeah,
6 months? You did the whole season. The whole season last year. I can't remember. Was it last season or the season before you came back?
So
you came back and right where you left off. You were.
Yeah. So I left in, I think it was 2018, 2019. Wall was getting shut down. I actually was working with doing a lot of stuff with work, going into school, which actually is going to have. I'm in continuing education now. I just got accepted to Texas A&M for cyber law, so I'm going to be handling that, balancing that as well. So yeah,
congratulations.
So cool. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm very happy and excited, nervous as well because it's a ton of reading, but yeah, so it will definitely help my career and whatnot. So I did the same thing in the past when I took the hiatus. I was doing all these certifications and whatnot for my job. I'm a director of cybersecurity, so it's constant. It's constantly changing and evolving. So you got to stay with it. You can't just get the job and be like, I'm done. No, it doesn't work like that. Bad guys are always attacking. So I took that hiatus. I kind of went out what I thought was like at a good time. Wall shut down. I just won Motorama, so that was like another cool moment. From this thing's freaking heavy, but this was like this is the real deal, and I kind of just was like, it was a good time for me. I was starting to get burnt out. I was starting to feel like, I don't know, I was just getting exhausted. I'm putting in so much time and effort, and it was awesome. But then as soon as Wall was shutting down, I was like, there's no local tracks. And to be honest with you, Tom, I got back into it because I heard you were opening your track, and I was like, that is awesome. Rhythm, was going to not be too far away. It was outdoor. My wife was a huge inspiration. She was like, I think you kind of need to get out of the house. Like, I only go to the gym. Like, and I don't really. Yeah, exactly, dude. Like, I go to the gym. I don't really leave my development. Like, it's kind of crazy, So she's like, I think you loved it. You're pretty good at it. Why don't you go back to it? So it was kind of like a culmination of things, and I went with it, and I'm so happy to be back. My first race was back at LCRC, and changing chassis, jumping on the team associated. At first. Tom, you were helping me. I had my droop all jacked up, and Vin's like, "What are you doing?" And it was cool though. I learned so much. I had the pillow balls way too tight, and because I was coming from a C-Hub car, and I'm like, wow, this thing. It felt great, but I was just, I was kind of overwhelmed. I didn't have my skill set by any means, and started to get a little bit better, as it progressed. So. And now I'm kind of fully committed to this, and I wanted to do better, which is why I wanted to cross over and learn a lot more about the on-road experience for those reasons, man. Yep. Yeah, absolutely, man. Ron.
Thanks, Ron. It's on my list of things to do. I meant to do it today, and then my granddaughter came over, and she took priority.
Yep. It is a great track. It's really cool. I'm so happy that it's there, man. So yeah, that was one of my, yep. Absolutely. I appreciate you, dude. So yeah, did I answer all that, or did I leave something out?
Yeah, sure. Lance McDonald is in the house. What's up, buddy?
I know, right?
Great to have you, sir.
RC royalty.
Absolutely. What a great guy. Hung out with him at Fall Brawl.
Yeah.
By the way, you see what they're doing down in Florida? Is a little quick sidebar of that track they're building down there at Southside.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm ready to move to Florida.
Right.
Take me with you.
Yes, exactly.
Let's go.
There's a lot of awesome tracks down in Florida, man. They're like, and that red clay looks like it hooks up. I'd like to get down there.
And it's warm.
And it's warm.
There is that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's warm.
Oof.
So shout out to Taylor DeLosa.
Ben, I'm sorry.
Excuse me. Yeah, quick shout out to Taylor DeLosa out there. We are doing second Monday 7:30 is what we're going to try and right, guys? Is that what we're going to try and do?
That's the plan.
We want Taylor DeLosa to be able to TQ every
Yes,
round.
absolutely.
So we're set. We're just going to give it to you straight, Taylor. So no secrets. You know, it's going to be every second Tuesday. We're going to try.
Lance just said it's going to be 26 degrees.
Ooh, ouch.
Oh my
next
gosh.
week.
Yeah, it gets
Might
cold
actually
down
be-
there too,
It might be warmer in New Jersey.
right?
Ridiculous.
It's 31 here, so yeah.
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 Possible
Yeah,
snow
31.
Thursday.
People in Florida, anything short of like 50 degrees, they're all in parkas. Stay inside, Lance.
Wow, man.
Oh man.
So, Billy, what did you win in Motorama? What class was that, by the way?
That was Masters.
Oh, yeah? Nice.
Yeah, it was Masters.
Awesome.
Yep. I just had turned 40 that year. So I had a little bit of an advantage. I was like, it was winter and I think I was like a month in. So 2 months in. Yeah. I turned 40 in December and Motorama's in February. So I was like,
I tell you what, it's 40 plus is no joke. There's people like you and a lot of guys just turning 40. There's a lot of guys in that class now that are crazy fast.
Yeah.
But it's awesome. That's what you want, right? You want the challenge.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. It was really cool.
Would you consider that your most memorable race? Like, what would you consider one of your more memorable races?
That's like I really liked Fall Brawl. I liked the whole like production. I thought that was really interesting. That was to me kind of felt like next level. LCRC always knocks it out of the park. I feel like every one of those almost feels like a major race, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Which is, I mean, you almost have 500 entries, and the competition is fierce. Like it was really cool. I mean, doing the whole season last year was just, I felt really like it was. You got to see and witness, like everyone kept getting better too, and the tracks are, getting just they put in a really good ton of effort, and it shows. That's why a lot of guys show up. It's almost like a mini national,
Kendrick Grace is saying Ron Borman Memorial Race. Didn't realize most of us crossed paths back then.
I was in that. I actually took third place in Nitro to Christian. I can't remember his house. And Anthony Mazzaro took first.
Mazzaro was there, yeah.
Mazzaro took first. Christian took second. I took third in Nitro, and that was a cool one. That was a good race. And it was obviously meaningful as well. So memorializing Ron Borman and all the work and effort that he put in throughout the years, and
For sure.
yeah, it's really, really cool. Really nice. That was a good one. There's a lot. Unfortunately, I can't think of them off the top of my head. But there was I go through
A lot of good memories. So I have a lot of great memories. You can't find the best one is a great problem to have, Billy. So I'm with that.
Yeah. I usually go through my Facebook feed, and I'm like, and my other one, and I'm like, wow, I forgot about all like this whole pocket of time, and there's a lot of really cool. I mean, Toby and I. Geez, we went back to Critters Friday nights. I mean, that's like 20. So that was like 20, maybe 15, and it was rocking Critters.
Oh yeah, it was Friday night.
Remember how good it was?
Vin, yeah, you were there too. I mean,
Yeah,
it was
like
like
all the time.
90 dudes rolling in Friday nights, and we would have it was a stacked 2-wheel mod buggy, 4-wheel mod buggy,
yeah.
stadium truck. And the place was like hopping, and guys were pitting out in the where the all this the retail store.
Yeah.
Music was blasting. Guys are drinking beers. Like it was awesome. It was worth it. Totally worth it.
Yeah.
And so definitely that's funny. And I think that's where I met you, Vin, the first time. And
Most likely.
Yep. I actually told you. You remember I bought your. Schumacher, I think it was a KR back then. It was a rear motor.
Rear motor.
Yeah. Yep. That was,
I had someone reach out to me the other day asking me if I still had it. It was
no
like
kidding.
10 years later. It was Thomas actually. Thomas from I was gonna say Thomas Kaufman. He's like, still got that KR? I'm like, no, dude, that's long gone.
Oh yeah, no kidding. That's wild.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very
Mega
cool.
guys.
Yeah, Gary Terrig in the house. Anyone catch that vintage nationals? Any of the vintage nationals? Great racing down there. And then,
Yeah, it was good to see.
Yeah, we got Mike with Hobby Hut and Blue Diamond. Now, Blue Diamond is dear to me because I had a small motocross vending business. So I would get done doing that, and then I would take the boys over to the new 8-scale track, and we check out the on-road track. That place was gorgeous, man. Wish it never went away. But yeah, man.
I was there once. I remember going there, and you had a pit in the, I think it was like on the blacktop, the concrete, the parking lot area. So it was
Hot.
It was hot. I remember it just being super hot. The track was cool, and we got to watch the motocross guys from the pits. So that was wild. That was a cool place. And I think they had 5th scale racing there too, if I remember correctly.
Wow.
Yeah, the big telephone poles that were the lanes for the 5th scale. It was a big facility.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
I've heard
Yeah.
great things. I never got there, but I heard great things.
No, I didn't either.
Hung out with Justin Barsha there. He used to camp
Oh, yeah.
out there when he was getting going. And yeah, he actually jumped over my head on the big step up. And I was like, there's one person I trust who's going to clear me, and then, this is mentioning this right after that crazy Supercross race. So yeah, I guess I got lucky.
Yep, you're still here today.
Billy, did you run any on-road prior to your most recent
No, always wanted to though. I saw the touring cars back in the day, and I did the TC3 and whatnot, and they looked so cool. And then I saw the price tag, and I was like, yeah, that's not happening. No way. And then I wasn't that experienced with setup, not even close at that time. So it was kind of like, yeah, I think I'll just stick with dirt. Like it just seemed like the right path. But yeah, no, moving into it was. This is all new for me. Actually, was going to start with mini Z's, to be honest with you, and then I just couldn't see the damn thing. Like it was so small. It was cool. Like I drove it. I borrowed one of these dudes from Jersey Promotions. He's like, "Here, man, try it out." I'm like, "Oh, this is really cool." Like I'm just driving around a little track, and they're like, and then they start like truing the tires, and they're they're like the size of a dime, and I'm like, and there's apart these little springs, and I'm like, dude, there's no way. It's smaller than my phone, and I'm like trying to see. I'm like, here you go, I'm good. And then so I ended up getting one of those like NASCARs, and they were like, oh, NASCAR's a big, it's a big turnout. They'll have like A, B, C mains, whatever. And it was kind of cool, but there's not much you can do with it, and they're kind of slow, And then I saw the touring cars, and I was like, yeah. I think that's what I have to do. And then Associate just came out with the TC8, and it was like, I was like, it's meant to be. I'm pulling the trigger. It was a no-brainer. The track is, the one over here in Forked River. It's 20 minutes from my house. It's a no-brainer. I mean, I go there on Thursday night, Sundays, whatever. Like the Park Lane stuff is incredible. That track is amazing. It's 2 hours from my house though, so it's like. That's a drive. I get up at 4:30 and kind of get there because that place will fill out. Toby will tell you like that. The guys are waiting there at 8 a.m. And they fill up their seats. You're out. Like so, you got to get there super duper early. So yeah, it's just right here is perfect. Touring car is awesome. Love it. Got my touring car right here. I look at it.
Can we see that TC8? Can you show that thing to us?
Absolutely.
Now,
absolutely.
Sweet.
So I made a ton of changes on. At Park Lane on Saturday. I noticed, so like you're going in, it's got a longer straightaway in the back, so you're carrying a lot more corner speed. And some of those guys, I think there was 2 world champions there. Correct me if I'm wrong. These cats were flying, like they were coming through and at full rip, like wow. And so I was like, I'm used to kind of like tapping the brake and like turning and they're coming in full rip, and I'm like, oh wow, all right, so let me try that. I need to readjust my driving style, and the car just goes right into the wall. Like I'm like, all right, so I know I need to do something with my setup. So I'm like, so I started to go through. Actually, Associated made a really nice book, so I got to give them some serious props with this, because this touring car, obviously I'm like kind of going through it, and it gives you a full breakdown of everything what you need to do. So the guys, my buddies that I was with, Miggs and this other dude Joe from Jersey Promotions, I sat there all day like a mad scientist, and I was going through everything. I was raising the roll center. Yeah, those guys, exactly, Kendrick. Those
guys, they're coming out to Rhythm too. They're running some off road now.
Oh, sweet.
Good dudes.
Yeah,
good dudes.
That dude Mikey, he was flying, man. They're on another level. Like you could tell, like those guys they're super prepared and everything. So I was going through the entire car, and I mean I just went through what setups, configurations, and tuning tips I needed to do, and the coolest thing is you can really like taste test it. You have the standard is the track. I mean the temperature might change a little bit, but not like drastic. So and the condition stays the same. So I mean the traction might come up a little bit, but still it's not like off-road where it completely changes. So it was cool to have that like standardization and then build up from that. And I just kept stiffening the car, and then like changed the what do they call it? I changed the roll center to CG, everything. I made it like a higher roll center, according to what it said. I changed the inside of the spool. I made it a higher, raised it. I did everything, and it worked. And the car started like really hooking up, and my times kept getting better and better and faster and faster. So I was like,
awesome.
It's such a cool experience. My lap times I was down to like an 8.3, which is some of the 21.5 guys were doing that. So it was just like the setups are legit, like, which I think is part of the goal, for me to experiment with the on-road and then apply it to off-road. So that's where I'm thinking like, maybe less is more, for like not do.
Can I ask you a favor?
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off,
No,
but
you're good.
can you, I have a crazy week where I have a Roar meeting tomorrow night, but tomorrow I'm going to Park Lane. I'm going to be hanging out with Kendrick, and I'm going to be running a TC8 for the first time. And then Thursday, I'm trying to hang out with you, Billy, if you're going to Jersey Promotions to go meet a couple of your buddies who know one of my buddies who is a Moto America racer, pro racer, Ricky O'Hare. Excuse me, Ricky. And yeah, hopefully we get him into on-road as well. But I had the pleasure of teaching him when I was teaching road racing, and good guy, good group of friends. So hopefully we get those guys into it. Would be awesome. But yeah, going from nothing to 2 days at the on-road track this week. So I'm pretty pumped.
Oh, that's awesome, Vin. Yeah, I'll be there Thursday night. I try to get there around 4:30, just for setup, get a good spot in the table, and we could definitely play and do some tuning, because it's a lot of fun. There it's like not as, you don't have to have the. I mean you probably do, but it's a little bit more forgiving, I think, because it's less speed, going into the turns and whatnot. But yeah, no, there's a good camaraderie there at that track too. A lot of really nice guys, they're from the local area. Sundays I think are a little bit, you get a more of a variety, like Scooby's there, like he'll show up there, and some really fast guys, Dennis Storty and those guys will show up on a Sunday, and they rip. And so it's awesome to have someone to benchmark off of, and like, all right, I'm 2 laps behind. Like, I mean, there's 7 seconds, 6 seconds, sometimes like a 5.9 lap, so like one mistake and you're out. Like, so you really have to have consistency.
So
Which I think that's one of the big things that helps translating, when you go to off-road, is that, you've worked so hard on the consistency, hitting your points, is absolutely huge, whether it's off-road or on-road. So I think it definitely builds up your coordination, and then makes you want to hit your points and gain that consistency. So if you're looking for more consistency, try some on-road.
Absolutely. 100% agree.
So 75% of the presenters on this podcast are Associated guys. So do you guys know if there's a new 12 scale coming out by any chance, since they brought out a TC8?
Yes, 12 scale released already. I'm pretty
did?
sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did.
Actually, that's a vintage edition.
Ah,
I can't
Shocker.
really comment on that, But I'm just gonna say we've already seen so much. You know,
That's mystical.
It's
What was their 12 scale called?
it's gonna be a fun year. I'll put it to you that
Okay.
way. So if
All
you're
right,
doing,
cool.
if you're into on road,
Whatever
or even
is gonna
off
come
road,
out.
look for a lot of things coming this year. It's gonna be exciting.
I want a gold pan SC8.
Yeah, you and me both.
SC8, you don't care what color the pan is. You just want the SC8 back.
Yes,
Seriously,
yes, but it has
Nitro
to have a gold
SCA. I
pan.
would love to run
Yeah, I
that.
want a gold pan Nitro SCA because that would bet as much
Or-
friggin' sense as all the other cars they've been bringing out. But hey,
did you guys see
Never
the buggy, like the 2-wheel drive? I think it was a 2-wheel drive nitro buggy. I mean,
yeah,
that's crazy. Like,
I was down at Park Lane and I was in Enzo's back room pulling wires and things, and he's got a little stack of vintage kits, and he had the Masami kit on the top of it, and I got like mad FOMO, went outside and found one online and ordered it right away.
no way.
Well, so I was sitting at the track with the camera. I was just like,
That's
I got
That's
it.
awesome.
I got
That's
it from
awesome.
Fierce RC, so he had one. So.
That's
Kendrick,
cool.
I agree with you, man. Bring back that SC8. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Do it. Vin, you got
I know
connections,
some of the
make it
guys, some
happen.
of the guys were building those cars for a while, right? It was, I guess, it was more down south that some of these guys were taking and converting. They were kind of morphing together buggies and truggies to make these
Yeah.
an A-scale short course truck. Is that still going down that way, or is that still popular?
I don't know if it ever really got off the ground, but that was something that Chase did, right? Chase from Techno Out West. He had that car with the big armor body on it. Everyone got excited.
Yeah.
about it. I don't think anyone really. It would be really cool, but you know, they were pushing for getting rid of Truggy. I don't know if you listened to. I think it was Brent was like, "Get rid of Truggy, and we'll run Nitro Short Course." There was a lot of back and forth between those guys. It's pretty funny.
Wow, that's wild.
You know, short course is fun. It's got its place. I always loved 4x4 short course. So that was one of my favorite class. That and 4-wheel drive mod wheeler. I had to run those at least, especially back in the day at Critters.
Oh, it was huge.
Absolutely. Back in the day, that was a lot of fun. It was fun watching the four-wheeler short course trucks. That was a lot. Remember that dude Hulk? That used to-
He's still racing.
He's still racing there.
He's
Yeah.
awesome. He
He's
was
still
really
fast
good
as
at that.
hell.
He was really good at that short course truck.
Oh yeah, he was unbeatable.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, really unbeatable. He still runs 4-wheel drive buggy. I think. I don't think he does short course,
Okay.
but he's still there.
No kidding. Wow. I haven't been up there in years.
Him and Kenley,
Oh, no
Yeah.
kidding. Yeah.
Ken's a great guy.
and
Yeah.
Royce is there.
Another
Only
great
two
guy.
People I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. The old school guys. That's funny.
Good guys over there.
Yep. Steve Mazer, right? Wasn't he up in that area?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. He's come
Mhm.
back to racing again.
Oh, has he? All right, cool.
Yeah, a little bit.
Nice. The OGs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Kendrick's talking about 10 skill Astro, which is cruising.
Yeah.
You know, good old cruising on Wednesdays
Oh,
during the
that.
summer,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to mention
and then
that, didn't
Saturdays, I believe, Wednesdays and Saturdays during the summer.
They
Toby,
They do mini season in the winter too. They do
Yep.
28 scale.
Yep.
do you remember cruising before it was carpet? It was actually dirt.
Yeah, I raced there on that
Yep.
dirt.
I did too. That was hard. It was hard to drive
Yeah,
on.
it was. It was real loose and dusty.
Yep.
But all that dirt is still there.
Sort of like Silver State.
Yeah, it's all there apparently. All that dirt, it's underneath the turf.
It was pretty close, Tom. It was, and it was 10
It
scale.
was.
It was 10 scale. So you had to be pretty sharp getting traction.
Setup had to be right. It was gnarly.
It didn't last long though, right? I mean, if I recall,
Maybe 2 years or so. And then they went to, I remember they went to the AstroTurf. And,
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to go back there. It was just Waldwick was just too far to get there.
Yeah.
Good
But yeah,
times. Good
the
times.
turf was fun. It kept it very consistent, less maintenance on their part, no watering or anything like that. Just go out and run. It could be raining out. Go out and run. It's a good time.
do you
No,
think the tires wore faster on turf than they do on carpet?
I'm gonna go
Cool.
with. I want to say carpet.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Carpet wears faster.
I remember running Proline Pyramids, I think, on the rear two-wheel drive, and we were burning them up real quick.
Might depend. So I have a question for Billy. So, we had a really good time at Fall Brawl, and we've known each other for a while. And Billy kind of has this ability that he knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I
Can
think
you
I know
please
where you're going.
explain how you steer your car?
Absolutely. Yeah. So driving in reverse, right? Yeah. So right is left, left is right. Going back to with the transmitter, I was a little boy. I was like 9 years old or something. So jumping from like a stick transmitter, I got a Magnum Junior transmitter from like my uncle, and it was the first time having a pistol style. So the grip and everything. So I had no idea when I saw the transmitter configuration, it said normal. So I was like, so when I first started driving, I just was like, all right. And that was it, right? It was left and left was right. And I tried one of my buddy's cars and I drove it right into the curb. And I was like, dude, something's wrong with your transmitter. And he's like, I think your brain's backwards or something. He's like, are you dyslexic? And I'm like, what do you mean? And I'm like, this is just the way the car is set up. I'm like, I was like, no, man, you're backwards. Like your car's, yeah. No way. Do you have one?
Yep.
That's it.
That's it. Magnum Junior.
Oh my God. That is amazing. There you go. That's it. Was that was an FM, right? Or is it AM?
Oh yeah.
I can't remember if that's an FM or AM. That is old.
That was the FM version. They had some AMs, but that was the older style.
Okay. Yeah. That's amazing. So yeah, so that was it. Once I had it, I tried to switch, but it was too late. My brain already mapped out like the feeling of it, and I could never go back. And I couldn't try anyone's cars. So like every time someone wanted to try my car, I'm like, whoa. Like, hold on, let me switch the steering. And everyone would look at me and go, what are you talking about? I'm like, no, like right is left and left is right. And they're like, come on, man. Like, let me just drive your car. And I'm like, and then of course, as soon as you switch it, the sub trim might be off a little bit. And then I'm like, I got to fix the steering so it goes straight for you. And it was one of those things where it was really funny. So a lot of people, one dude, Dwayne, he wanted to try my nitro car at the time. And I was like, oh, hold on, bro. I got to switch the steering. And he looked at me like dead serious. And he was like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, right is left, left is right. And he goes, it's funny. I've only met one other person in my entire life that does that. And it was the guy that taught him. And it was Dwayne, come on, you guys know him.
Karlowski?
Yes. Yeah. So the guy that taught him how to drive drove that way, which I thought was it was really cool. I never met anybody like that. So I've been steering in reverse my entire life.
Crazy.
Yep.
It boggles my mind how you have that level of I mean, you're so good and you're so coordinated and you're doing it all backwards. It's like mind blowing. But I mean, that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I kind of have a weird, I guess, my brain. And when I played drums too, when I first started, my drum teacher was like, so I played like open-handed. So like the left side of my body was doing the hi-hat, and they want you to cross over. And I was like, that makes no sense. This is completely stupid. Like now I'm hitting my hand like this. I'm like, nah, like you play open hand. And so then they talked me into doing it, and I played like, but I don't know. It just made more sense to me. So, but that's drums. That's completely different. So I think I have that. It's a little bit of interesting wiring going on in my brain.
High level of coordination going on, and whatever you're doing, it's working, dude. Don't change it.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate that, man. Very, very humble.
Very cool.
Well,
Does anyone want to talk about setup?
I want to know Billy, what are now that you've kind of gotten comfortable with the AE car, right? If you like, what are one of the first one or two things you go to when you're trying to make the change in handle to the car? Do you usually jump right into diffs? Do you like to tweak on roll centers? Just curious, what's your
good.
I don't want to say your go-to, but what you typically start.
I think it depends on what the car is telling me. I'm almost feeling like that was my first goal, is to be able to kind of triage like what I'm seeing and then remediate like the problem. Like for like if I'm traction rolling, I would go for sway bar, like anti-roll bar. Like I feel like that would, if I'm losing traction, then I would go down in the center diff. Like I think it really depends on the issue of the car and the feedback of what it's telling me. Obviously tires, I think are, going to, thank goodness, J Concepts. So I feel like now.
Congratulations, by the way. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, very, very. I'm very honored to be on that team because they're no joke, and the best of the best. So, like we talked about. So it's awesome that at least now I know that I have a good foundation. That's like 80% of it, right? It's tires. I mean, you get the right tire, the right compound. Then it's like, okay, let me figure out the setup. I think suspension, like we focused on springs a lot, but I feel like that's kind of like, all right, well. If the car's landing good and you got good grip, I'm not really gonna mess with that. I feel like I really want to get into the more of the roll center side, the unsprung weight, and kind of figure out that part of it and dial into like just really figure out the buggy. Like the truck is very forgiving, so you could kind of have a jacked up setup and still drive it fairly good. But the buggy is a little bit more. It requires a little bit more of a better setup. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like it really depends on the feedback the car is giving me, but definitely roll bar, shock angle. I feel like could help contribute for remediate the problem. So sorry, the open-ended answer, but
No, it's good. We want the honest answer. That's it's a good way to hear it.
Yeah. No like blueprint of like, all right, I'm gonna start A to B. Like I feel like I need to get better as a driver to figure out what the car is telling me is wrong. Like going in a turn, do I need more exit or entry speed and corner exit or things like that, mid corner? Like what is it actually doing? Like is it jumping weird? Is my ride height too low, or change droop or something to that effect?
Awesome.
A lot of comments going on here. Awesome. Thank you guys.
Kendrick's talking about rear pills or something he jumps to.
Yep. Not bad advice there, Kendrick. Thank you. Kendrick also offering up some e-buggy advice at Park Lane. Thank you, buddy. Gary Terry is out for the night. Thanks, buddy, for tuning in. And Mike, for 8th, definitely shock oils and roll bars, and rear toe for rotation. Absolutely, Mike. Always keep,
We've got Uncle Mike in here. Mike Ecclebell.
Yeah, that's right. I saw that too. Thanks, Mike.
Slowest fast crew, Taylor.
Cool. Yeah, those guys are crushing it. So definitely tune in to their podcast, Slow is Fast. I know I enjoy it.
Yeah, what do we forget to talk about again? Like, share, subscribe. We forget that every time. It's usually on the top of our list of things to cover. We always forget it.
Always.
But
Hey, even Keenan just shared us. That's pretty cool.
Thanks, Keenan. That's awesome, man. That guy's unbelievable. Yeah. Started the whole podcast.
Didn't he do a 7-hour podcast recently?
Did he really?
I thought I heard that.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to take sessions to get through that.
A lot of Red Bull.
I gotta catch up. It's awesome.
well, Billy, I could probably have other stuff I could speak to you about, but I know we're going to see a lot more at the track, and we're watching time. But
Yes, sir.
Toby, Vin, do you guys have any other questions for Billy?
I don't have any questions, but I remember that time when you and your hell was that noise? Your father-in-law, right, came to Critters with that vintage race.
I know exactly where you're going with this.
Jay Zona was driving a JRX2, and he crashed up on like a little corner step up, and he went to get it and stood on it and like crushed the whole rear end.
You actually could hear it from the video. The crunch Zellner went wide and he went underneath my father-in-law's Chris' feet, and he like kind of jumped up and all of a sudden you see in the camera, and all you hear is and it's like, whoa!
He goes running over. It's, oh my God! I've had this since I was a child.
Oh my God!
He still goes on about it.
Oh, dude, does he really?
Frickin' Zellner.
Yeah.
Dude, that was hilarious. It was terrible, but hilarious. Sorry.
Yeah. I think we kept looking at the video over and over again.
Oh, I did too. The crunch was just, dude, it was epic. It was nice. Sorry, Jay. That was awesome though. Yeah, absolutely. I do remember that. Thanks, guys. No, I appreciate it, man.
Awesome.
No, absolutely. It's great to have you on.
Thank you.
Well, Bill, we'd love having you as a guest. I hope you stick around because we are going to talk a little bit of setup. I know some guys were asking in the chat group about talking about setup. I know Vin's going to talk through some ride height stuff shortly.
Oh, for sure.
But stick around. So I would love to get your take on some of this stuff.
Absolutely.
Please.
I'll hang
Awesome.
for sure. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. Mark Logan, stopping by to show some support. Appreciate you, buddy.
So if you want to roll Cal RC real quick, and then we'll get into the setup segment.
Absolutely. So again, those who are just jumping in a little later, Cal RC have jumped on board to partner with us for the rest of 2026. So we're actually going to be talking more about them over the next 11 episodes. Going to try and do some drill downs on some of their products for each show. Hopefully we can, help talk about some of the new upcoming stuff. So if you guys haven't checked them out, you guys go over this quick video, you can get an idea of some of their products.
Cow RC is your one-stop shop for all things RC maintenance, carrying everything you need to keep your vehicles looking good and performing at their best. From MooClean part and chassis wash that's gentle on your RC's components, to jet air blasters that eliminate the need to carry those large and noisy air compressors, Cow RC has you covered. Even down to our convenient hide wipes that keep hands and other surfaces clean. Moose-Lick silicone, oil, and grease sprays, along with Utter Butter grease, and a variety of work mats are all staples of Cow RC's wide range of products. Be sure to use the following discount code to save on your next purchase.
Audio cuts off there. Anyway, guys, check them out, cowrc.com. Got some awesome products. Grateful to have them on board. And if you use the code NERRP, you get 10% off. And there'll also be an affiliate code. I'll post it tomorrow on the Facebook page.
I just got my mini one for my small workbench at the track. I like this. I use that associated soft mat for my pit mat, but I'm always afraid to drip solder or something on there. They give you this gray insert which can handle all the heat. You can actually lay the soldering iron on this and it won't melt. Not that I'm going to try it, but pretty cool. Slick little piece.
Sure. Yeah, we had a little giveaway at the end of last year, and P-Word won an awesome magnetic pit mat. So yeah, we'll probably be doing some more giveaways this year as well. So even another reason for you guys to tune in.
So Alan Placer got that new blower, the Cal, whatever the new high performance one. He said it's even more powerful than an air compressor.
Nice.
So and you don't got to carry all that around. You don't got to worry about blowing out a fuse or something. So pretty cool stuff.
Cool. Yeah, I know they've got a new pit light coming out. I saw some post about that. So I think we'll be seeing that coming out pretty soon. It's pretty sweet.
Nice.
Cool. With that, Vin, you want to let's talk some setup stuff.
We could
I think
talk about
we're gonna, after 36 episodes, we're going to kind of swing back to some things we covered in the past, right?
Yeah, we're going to kind of hit the reset button, but we're not going to hit the reset button, Tom. What we're going to do is we're going to enhance what we already got, and we're going to start with ride height. So
cool.
Anyway, yeah. Well, you guys ready? You guys ready for some ride height? Let's go.
I'm going to make you go big. There you are.
All right, here we go. So ride height. It's basically the distance between the ground and your chassis plate. I set this every time I run for a little bit more consistency. I usually check my camber as well, because you want to kind of coordinate your camber and your ride height. A little tip, bleed your shocks. When you bleed your shocks, you can get them more consistent. So I kind of do that a couple times, even on a practice day, always on a race day. So let's get into the next step. What's needed? You need your pit board. You're going to need a camber gauge. You're going to need a ride height gauge. And I usually suggest calipers and drinks. So
I was finishing off. I typed a message to Taylor and then got distracted and didn't finish the sentence. So carry on.
I just saw that. I figured, sure, why not?
But yeah, drinks help.
Use
But
a
not
drink
too many.
Yeah,
Just
take a little
enough.
break after you bleed your shock. So, how do we do this? How do we get started? So, using your calipers, the first thing I would do is sync your front two shocks together to be the same depth using the caliper, and then do the same thing with the rear shocks. So now, at least left to right, they're the same. Front to rear can be different. We'll talk about that in a minute. So, so there's a couple different ways to balance it out. Before I get into that, I think, Tom, don't you have a certain way that you do your shock collars?
Yeah, just something I always do whenever I build a kit for the first time. I like to do is take the collars all the way up. And by the way, we're frozen on Facebook. I guess they can still hear us, but we seem to be frozen on Facebook. Vin, if you like it, it's your face like this, with your mouth open. But
Great.
anywho, sorry, I digress. But something I always do when I build a car for the first time, because I'm like you, I don't like to measure the shocks every time. My calipers are always in the bottom of my bag, and I always have to take like 10 things out that gets home. So what I always end up doing is, if I build the car for the first time, I'll take the collars, drive them all the way up to the top of the shock, and I have a small file I use, but you could use a Dremel or whatever, and I'll actually take the anodizing off on one section of it. So when I go to adjust my shocks, I get a good habit of counting how many turns I did on each side. And then usually at that point, I can see if I'm close. Sometimes I have to bring the calipers out, but just one of the things I can kind of do in advance, so I can do a quick change on the track and make sure I'm level.
And make sure they're even left to right. That's awesome.
Yep.
And that's a great. Now, to set the ride height, I mean, there's guys do it different ways, whether it's 8 scale or, even on road at this point. But there's the drop method, which, you drop it from a little bit of a distance and, it settles into its ride height and you measure it. And then for 8 scale, I know a couple guys that they push it down twice and then, they push it down twice and see where it ends up. So there's different ways of doing it, but as long as you're doing it the same way every time, you're going to figure out what works for you. Your ride height's going to be different than someone who does a different method, but you're still going to figure out what works best for you. So, that's basically how you set it. Now, we talked about a variance between front and rear. That has to do with rake. So when you're front high and the front has a higher ride height than the rear, usually that plants the rear and makes it so the front can push. Now, on my B7, I actually have it at 13 front, 11 rear, and I have more steering because there's more ride height and there's more leverage. It's rolling more. So it actually gave me a little more steering that way. So you got to test and see what works for you. Usually I run rear high. And what that does is that plants the front, because I like to drive a car more on its nose, a lot of steering. It lowers your overall center of gravity, because when you accelerate with a car set up with rake like that, what happens is the rear kind of squats down under acceleration. And that motion of squatting down under acceleration creates mechanical grip. Okay. And it allows you to accelerate for longer and maintain grip. And especially on a smooth track, it works pretty well. Like LCRC, almost always have my car set up like that. But on a bumpy track, that might not work for you. You're going to get thrown around and you're going to have to usually go up in ride height. So, So the other thing I want to add that we never talked about before, a lot of cars have what's called diff height adjustments now. I know most of the AE cars have that. All the 10 scales have it already. And really what you want to do is you kind of want to have your drive shafts parallel with your pit board. So parallel with the ground. And, from there, I would say that's your base setting. And then from there, you can make your adjustments. Okay. So if you want, a little bit more, if a higher diff height is going to, add a little bit of grip and also agility. A lower diff height is going to plant the car and it's going to be better for high grip tracks. You're going to have more consistency. But really, you have to try it all. You have to try it all. And you also have to like, subscribe, and share. And then, do you guys have any questions for me?
And have drinks.
And have drinks with Toby and Billy and Tom and me.
There goes Bill. There goes Toby's New Year's resolution again.
Yeah, right. We're going to kill that, bud.
Drink
Sorry.
it again.
Sorry.
Staying off the whiskey. That's one thing I am doing.
Okay. We can do that. Maybe.
Give it another week.
I have a bar in my office, so if anyone needs a drink, it's full.
All right.
Full
Next
of-
podcast
man-
will be at Billy's
Man
house.
man style.
Oh yeah, no, this is my work office, but yeah, whoever needs
Mike
anything.
Egelbergel, B7 testing this year really blew my mind on how impactful ride height is. Absolutely, man. I couldn't believe I ended up 13 front, 11 rear, but I did, and the thing's awesome. So you got to test. That's all I got to say. You got to keep testing.
So Vin, I think maybe it'd be helpful to explain anti-squat, because I think there's a lot of confusion out there when I read forums and whatnot. I know what it is, but maybe some of these other guys, almost I see a lot of posts and they're counterintuitive of what it actually is supposed to do.
So anti-squat is just that. When you add anti-squat, it resists squatting under load. And we're talking about the rear suspension. We're talking about the C and D blocks. So with the C up and the D down, you're have max anti-squat. And what that's going to do, I would only recommend that on smooth tracks where you're getting on it hard, because it's going to make the rear resist squatting, but it's going to give you a lot of grip on acceleration. So definitely something to play with, and which if you set that correctly, it will make you faster, without a doubt. But when it gets bumpy, you have to be careful. Sometimes it works for you. You skip above the bumps. Sometimes it doesn't, and it kicks you like crazy, and it'll send you. So it's something that you kind of you got to test with it. But should you use it, it really helps. Now on 10 scale carpet, I'm usually trying to take it away. On the B84, kind of works with it. So it depends on the track too. So lock gauge or question, how do you measure your ride height? Do you use a lock gauge or let the gauge tell you what your ride height is? So I used to lock the gauge, but now, like, if I'm using the J Concept gauge, I'm leaving it loose, sticking it under there and letting it kind of contour the bottom of the chassis so I can find that low spot. I'll find that low spot and just kind of go off of that so that it's consistent, and that's what it's all about. As long as you're making it consistent every time, you're good. Now, I also like those Gia gauges, where you can kind of set it and just stick it under there. And, there was some 3D printed little things you can push under there, but nothing beats that JC gauge, in my opinion. And getting it to contour the chassis would be the way I do it. So I hope that answers your question.
And Vin, I'm just going to reinforce what you said in regards to anybody new racing. You'd be surprised how much that can change after a heat or something like that, especially new cars that's breaking in. You can sometimes find something down in your suspension. Take the time before you go out every time. It takes you a few minutes to do it, but always double check your ride height, double check your camber, just getting a consistent habit of doing it, because you may identify problems before you actually feel them in the car.
So we have some questions going on here. Mike, with VHA, axle adjustment is also important depending on where. Okay. Are you talking about what exactly is VHA? I'm not sure what that is, but
Variable height axle.
Maybe it's the axle height. Are you talking about axle height, possibly? Just kind of expand on that, Mike. Mark is talking about lots of tracks have ride height rules to save the carpet. 11 is usually. You're absolutely right, Mark. And you know what? That's a great point. And let me add to that. So we're talking couple tracks. I know First State is one of them, where I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, I think it's 14 is the minimum ride height at First State, either 14 or 16. I think it's 14, and it might depend on from class to class. But when you're doing that, when you're changing that, you have to adjust. You should be adjusting your diff height as well, and then from there you can also adjust your roll center. So making these adjustments, it's going to be a little bit of a different setup, so make sure you do your testing and do a little bit of your homework and have a high ride height setup and have a low. Ricky, yeah, it's 14 at First State. Thank you, Ricky James. Appreciate it, bud. So, Kendrick, if you want to just tell us exactly your 020, I'm not following that. Just explain on that a little bit. CV pin location and axle. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's new to me. I know on our axles for Associated, the CV pin is usually in the same spot, but some brands have double jointed axles. So like, I think we call it DCV for Associated. I know X-Ray has them as well. So I'm not sure on the terminology, but the double jointed axles, what they do is they make it so that each hinge, now there's two hinges turning, allowing it each hinge to turn less when the car's cornering. So it really helps in the front, and it actually will add some on-power steering. And it's definitely something we're testing with. And I know that AE is testing with it, and they're about to drop it for the B84. So definitely look for that coming out soon. I'll be running that on my cars for sure on carpet.
Awesome, Ben. Well, I appreciate it. That's good stuff. I'm trying to read Mike's comment here real quick.
I started doing that too. Yeah, he's talking about the gear gauges, the brass weight attached to it. Wow. Okay. With the gear mainly on. Yeah, so as long as you're doing it the same, every time, I would imagine it should be consistent. But, Mike, what do you prefer using like a gauge that's loose or fixed? What do you do, bud? I'd love to get your feedback. And yeah, we miss anyone? I guess we've got questions. Anyone else have any more questions for us? Let's go.
Well, I think we got a good topic, anti-squat, we can touch on maybe a little deeper in one of our future episodes. And I liked your wording, right? I think you've covered a lot of amazing stuff, and I've learned a lot over the last 36 episodes. And I look forward to going back to some of the things we did and, to use your words, enhance what we've already learned and build on it. So I think we got a lot of good stuff we can cover for over the next few months.
Yeah, excited.
Cool. All right, Ben.
B2 release.
Okay,
Thanks, Mark.
You want to cover, right? We're getting close on time. One of our resolutions that everybody listening is we're trying to keep the episodes, as close as we can to 90 minutes without going too far over and keep people engaged. But I know Toby has some stuff he wanted to cover, some exciting stuff going on with 46RC.
Yeah, one thing I forgot to mention at the beginning is we're actually streaming live on YouTube as well. So that might be your preferred choice of watching shows, but it's out there now. I've actually had a couple of people commenting on there's like 8 people watching us on YouTube as well. So that's cool. Appreciate you guys out there. I'll try and do a better job of letting you guys know we're broadcasting on both platforms next time. A couple of things that I've been working on, and you've probably seen on my 46RC page. The short course wheel scuffer is about ready to come out. Sent out a few prototypes or beta types, whatever you want to call them, to about 6 people. They tested them out, made a change to the smaller ring for your short course wheel because there's slight variances in the DE ones I was testing on versus JC, and a couple others are like 1 millimeter bigger. So this one's ready to go. And then I have got a 10 scale one now as well, which should be adjusted as well. 61 millimeters, so it should fit all the wheels I've tested on. So we should be able to have that one launched too. So I think probably won't be particularly necessarily useful for your carpet guys because the tires are so tight on the wheel anyway. But for the off-road guys and the oval guys, this should be good because obviously running soft tires. So should have them on the store by the end of the week. And what else am I supposed to be talking about, Tom? Upcoming things, right?
Well, I think, for our next episode, one of the things we all kind of agreed we want to touch on is just kind of talk about Motorama prep, right? Everything's coming up in what, 6 weeks or so, 5-6 weeks.
Less than that, yeah. It's
Vin, are you going to Motorama?
I don't believe so. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Probably not. But we have some more comments over here. I just want to touch on what Mike C is putting down here. The variable height axle, rear axle, has multiple CV pin locations in 0.5 millimeter increments. This moves the CV joint away from the hub hinge pin, providing more lockup and straight line rear grip. That's awesome. Moving it towards the hub hinge pin allows the car to remain planted better while accelerating. Awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Mike. And yeah, Brian, it's great to be great to catch up, buddy. Always awesome. DRP is awesome place. You guys should go check it out. Basics, camber, front toe, and rear. Also, some driving advice about racing the track and not the car. Okay, not bad, Mike. Yeah, we'll talk about camber next time. And yeah, we'll get into toe as well. Absolutely.
all right. A couple more events coming up, right? Ridgefield have their Carpet Champs coming up in early March. If you guys have been following on, there's Sean Duffy's put on some big racing series with some super complex rules, but he's running races at Factory and Trains and Lanes and DRP and all the carpet tracks in the area. And then the conclusion, I believe, is at Ridgefield is a 2-day race. So that's in end of March. And Rhythm has their Tri-State Cash Race on the 21st of February, actually, which is, I think it's the same weekend as Motorama, but I don't think there's a particularly big crossover. You know, I don't think it's good to have options on the weekend, right?
Yeah, man. Well, unfortunately, Motorama sells out so quick anymore. We need to have another race as an alternative.
Yeah, agreed. So,
Really, you going back to defend your Masters title?
No. I might go to hang out and drink some beers and watch everyone, but that's about it. I'm good.
Basically, if you go out there, I may ride out there Sunday just to go watch some of the mains and take a ride. So maybe we'll carpool out there and take a look at it.
That's
Carpool.
Thinking if you guys want to carpool out, that'd be awesome. Go just hang out and watch.
I'll drive. You can drink.
Sounds good.
yeah, I'm not sure who's coming yet. I've heard Lutz, Setzer, and Lemieux, he's coming, but hope you should hear about the techno guys soon. So that'd be cool.
Yeah, what weekend is Ronmo? I think was it the 15th?
21st, 22nd, yeah.
21st, 22nd, yeah.
Oh, they changed it. Okay. It used to be like Valentine's Day weekend, I think, back in the day.
All right.
RC racers. Most of them have Valentine's anyway.
Yeah, exactly. It's I think it's the first weekend in a long time we're actually going to be home for Valentine's Day. But you know, after 27 years of marriage, it doesn't really, mean anything. It's just like,
yes, it does. Don't
it's you again.
In trouble.
You're funny, man.
All right.
Awesome. Well, it's great catching up with you guys. Billy loves having you on the podcast, man. Good stuff.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Great to hang out with you guys. It was a pleasure, an awesome time. Thank you so much.
Our pleasure, absolutely.
Thank you, everyone, for chiming in. We had a lot of people, a lot of comments. I love it. Yeah. Heck yeah. Great episode. Thanks, guys.
Ask everybody again, like, share, subscribe, do it on YouTube, do it on Facebook. We'll try to remember to do it earlier in the episode again next time.
What did we say? Second Monday of the month? Right?
Second Monday of the month.
So the 9th of February is our next show.
Cool.
Look,
7:30.
thanks everybody that commented. We had a lot of comments come through, a lot of engagement. So that's
Absolutely.
awesome to have. And we're going to try to do more of these and make sure we do the best job we can with reading your comments and keep everybody engaged in a show. It's a show for all of us.
Yep. Yeah, you guys have any questions, comments, suggestions? You can DM us on Facebook page.
Complaints go right to tobyhampson@gmail.com.
Exactly. Yeah. It's
Awesome.
actually the same as my PayPal address, so send money.
Awesome.
All right.
All right, last thing. If anybody has anybody in the industry, whether it's another track, manufacturer, or anything like that, we are looking for more sponsors in 2026. We'll cater something to work around you the best we can. We're very grateful to Dennis and Nitro Caddy and Cal RC. But if you have an event you want us to promote, you just want to help promote on one episode, we'll find a way to facilitate something with you. So,
Yeah, how else are we going to pay for our vacations?
yeah. Make a big bankroll with podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome.
George, thank you
George,
again, buddy.
George's
Appreciate
first
you.
comment is going to be your last comment. I like it.
Yeah. Thanks, bud. Appreciate you leaving this podcast to us and in our good hands. And yeah, you missed a good one, man. Pap in the house.
Awesome, guys. Guys, have a great night. Billy, thanks again. Everybody, appreciate you joining us. We'll see you again in a few weeks.
Bye, guys.
You can find us on Apple Podcasts after this is all said and done.
That's right. See you guys.